I never thought I'd be the kind of guy writing something like this. Hell, I was just a janitor. I didn't sign up to be some whistleblower, or prophet of doom, or whatever you'll want to call me after this. My job at the base was simple: mop the damn floors, empty the trash, make sure the higher-ups never even noticed I existed. I was the lowest rung on the ladder, and that suited me fine. I figured the less you know, the safer you are. That's the thing about Area 51. People imagine men in black suits, UFOs on display, little green men dissected on stainless steel tables. But for me, it was trash bags full of coffee cups, sweeping dusty hallways, and scrubbing toilets used by men who thought they were God's chosen secret keepers. It was boring. Mind-numbingly boring. But boredom makes your ears sharper. You start noticing the scraps of conversations you're not meant to hear. A sergeant telling another not to post guards on a certain corridor because they know better than to wander there. A scientist, drunk in the cafeteria, mumbling about Hangar 19 before his buddy hissed at him to shut the hell up. Even the soldiers, the ones who'd kick your teeth in for breathing wrong, got twitchy when that name came up. Hangar 19. I asked once. Just once. A guy from maintenance, someone I thought was a friend, warned me, don't ever say that again. Don't even think about it. Some places in this base don't exist, and you're better off pretending you believe that. So I did. I went back to my mop, my bleach, my little world of filth and anonymity. But the thing about names is, once you hear one, it sticks. It waits in the back of your head. And eventually, it finds you. It happened on a Tuesday night, the kind of shift where you can feel your brain turning to mush. Everyone else had gone home, or deeper into the restricted wings where I wasn't supposed to be. My route was routine: mop the North Hall, empty the bins near the labs, swipe my badge at the checkpoints, keep moving. But I got distracted. Maybe I was too tired, maybe my brain was running on autopilot. Instead of turning left toward the storage closets, I drifted down a corridor I'd never noticed before. It was too clean, too quiet, the air colder than the rest of the base. No cameras I could see. Just a long stretch of sterile white walls that seemed to swallow sound. At the end was a door. No label, no warning signs, no stenciled numbers like every other restricted section had. Just smooth metal with a black card reader. Here's the thing, I knew my keycard wasn't supposed to work on anything classified above level 2. That door should have been dead to me. But when I swiped, half as a joke, half just curious, the light turned green. Green. The lock clicked like it had been waiting. For a long second I just stood there, mop bucket squeaking at my side, heart pounding. Every instinct told me to back off, go back the way I came. Pretend I hadn't seen anything. But there's a certain pull when you stumble on a place no one talks about. It was like the silence in that corridor was leaning on me, daring me to open it. So I did. And I wish to God I hadn't. The door opened on pure black. Not the kind of dark you get when a light bulb burns out, but a swallowing, unnatural void that seemed to push against the frame. For a moment I thought the power was cut inside, until I realized there was a sound. A low hum, like a generator buried miles underground. It vibrated in my teeth, in the bones of my hands gripping the mop handle. I pushed the bucket inside, and its wheels echoed across a space so vast I couldn't see the walls. This wasn't a hallway or a storage closet. It was a hangar. And dead center, in all that black emptiness, was a single structure. A containment cell, or at least, that's the only way I can describe it. A cube of reinforced glass, maybe 30 feet across, wired up with cables that disappeared into the floor. Faint, pale light pulsed from inside it, like a heartbeat. Every time it throbbed, the air in the hangar seemed to shift, thicker, harder to breathe, like whatever was in there wasn't just taking up space, but rewriting it. I didn't move closer at first. My body didn't want to. My legs felt locked in place, my stomach twisting like I'd walked into the blast radius of a chemical spill. But the longer I stood there, the stronger the pull became. Something wanted me to look. Something wanted to be seen. And against every shred of reason, I took a step forward. Then another. Until I was close enough to lay my hand against the humming glass. That's when I saw what they were keeping inside. At first, I couldn't even process it. My brain kept trying to make it into something familiar, a body on life support, a specimen in stasis, a piece of machinery half-built. But none of those fit. It was alive. And it wasn't. The thing inside the cube looked wrong. Like a corpse that had been rotting for centuries, except it twitched, pulsed, stretched in ways a dead thing shouldn't. Its skin, if you could call it that, hung loose in some places and fused to the glass in others, like it had grown into the walls of its cage. I couldn't tell if it had a face, but I knew it was facing me. Then came the smell. Metallic, sour, like blood boiled in copper pipes. My nose started bleeding without warning, a hot line dripping down my lip. I staggered back, but my eyes couldn't look away. The more I stared, the more I felt something crawling into my head, images that weren't mine, sounds like a language whispered backwards. And the worst part? It was moving. Not in a natural way, not like muscle and bone. It shifted in layers, like the universe was trying to catch up to whatever it really was. Every time it twitched, the lights above flickered, and I swear I heard the glass creak, as if the cell wasn't holding as tight as it should. That's when I realized it wasn't just something being kept. It was waiting. And now it knew I was there. The second I realized it knew me, the entire hangar seemed to react. The lights flared, then died to a sickly dim glow. The hum in the floor deepened into a roar, rattling through my chest like a second heartbeat. Alarms went off, shrill, piercing, not the kind I'd ever heard during drills. Red strobes pulsed across the walls I hadn't even seen before, and for a split second, I thought, they know I'm here. Someone's coming for me. But then I understood. The alarms weren't for me. They were for it. The thing pressed against the glass now, its form straining and warping, like it was testing the barrier. The lights flickered in sync with its movements, and every time it jerked, the world around me seemed to bend, the floor tilting, the walls stretching further away. My nose was gushing blood, my head pounding like it was going to split open. I turned and ran. But the corridors weren't right anymore. The door I came through led to a hallway I didn't recognize. Every corner I turned dumped me into another passage that looked just like the last, the same sterile walls and humming pipes. My boots slapped against the tile, echoing way too loud, like the base itself had grown hollow. And the whole time, I felt it behind me. Not footsteps, not pursuit, but awareness. Like the walls, the air, the building itself had been rewired with its attention. The base didn't want me to leave. I don't know how long I ran. Time didn't feel normal anymore. At one point I swear I saw the mop bucket, the same one I left in the hangar, sitting in the middle of a hallway I hadn't even been down yet. By the time I finally burst through a security door into familiar territory, I was half mad with terror. My uniform was soaked in blood and sweat, and my ears rang with that low, endless hum. And even as I staggered out into the desert air, one thought wouldn't leave me. I hadn't escaped it. It had let me go. I didn't go back the next night. Or the night after. I told them I was sick, then I quit outright. You don't just walk away from a job at that base, not without someone showing up at your door, but for some reason, nobody came. No reprimand, no black SUVs, no knock in the middle of the night. That scared me worse than the thing in the glass. Because it meant they didn't care that I'd seen it. It meant they knew I couldn't change anything, that I was already contaminated, already marked. I don't sleep much now. When I do, I dream in pulses of white light, like the glow of that cell. My nose still bleeds sometimes. And sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night with the hum in my skull, rattling my teeth. I think it's still with me. Watching.